funny that you could just put there and people be like, hey. So yeah.
I love food so much. I don't know, you haven't yet spoken about food, yet food really aligns so well with culture. By the way, what's your best local dish?
Matoke and vinyewa
Oh, amazing.
that have the mushrooms.
The mushrooms. Oh,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. So you did talk about Ruse Creative.
Yes.
I've seen some of the activities you've done, reaching out to different communities in Uganda, traveling to different schools with fellow quadrant,
Yeah.
queens. Yeah, so I really feel like you have really done so much in there. But I would want to know, as you do all that, what is that one story that really made you feel like, okay, I think I started up this thing and I'm now starting to see that indeed it's making wonders. That you felt like indeed I'm starting to see the purpose for why I started up this. Could you share with us one story?
That story is it's on its way, but I would say starting up the Rose Creative Hub was something I didn't want, but someone pushed me. Like someone just called me and they were like, I know you don't know me, but I've been observing you, I've been seeing you, I'm so and so, I work with this organization. Could we meet up? I'm like, okay, so we meet. They introduce themselves to me, I get to know them. They're like, I'm giving you 2 weeks, think about doing something. Think about doing something. I'm like, but I have no money, I have nothing. They're like, don't worry about the money, we are going to solicit for funds. This person tells me identify a community. I'm like, I cannot identify a community. They take me to a certain community. And they introduced me to they took me to our seed school in Chiwatule, KCCA, Sentimbaga. And they introduced me to the head teacher, the staff, and I was able to see the students. I interacted with the students. I asked them, what are the challenges you're facing? It's a town school, but still, the girl child, as always, menstrual health. They're like, when we get into our periods, we miss school for approximately 3 to 4 days because we cannot afford to buy sanitary towels. Meanwhile, this is a school in town where we feel like moreover in Chiwatule, where we feel like these people that stay this side, they are well off, everything is sorted. I'm like, okay, it dawned to me at that moment that I had to do something about it. So I was like, I'm going to do a workshop where I'm going to train you guys on how to do reusable sanitary pads. Now ask me, did I know how to make one? YouTube, I got tutorials, I made notes. The fact that I'm a creative, so it comes easy. I went to YouTube, I got to see what materials I needed, I made notes, I went to Chikubo, I disturbed people, I asked for materials, I bought the things, and we went back to the school the next week on a Thursday. I had a session with the kids, and I saw they were interested in learning, and it was good. So this person that introduced me to the whole of this idea told me, I'm not giving up on you, so your 2 weeks are getting done next week. What are you doing? I'm like, I think I have an idea. Why don't I just make this a project, like a sustainable project? And then I was like, now what am I going to do? I remember in that particular moment, I was still doing my school practice in Chitante Hill School. And I was sitting in the art room, like, art teachers, you're special. You never sit in the staff room, you always have your offices somewhere. So I was seated in the office of the art teachers, and that's the very day my supervisor was coming, but he was delayed. And then this whole idea came. I started drafting. I left my file, preparing for the lesson I was going for. And then I started preparing a whole lot of different things. I remember scribbling out Ruse. I'm like, my name is Ruth. Ruse. And I'm like, Ruse, Raz, Riz. And then I'm like, no, Ruse sounds better. It sounds cool. Then I'm like, now what? Creative what? Hub. So I'm like, but I would need to do this. I'm like, but I only have 5 days to have something pulled off. And then I'm this kind of person, as an artist, we were taught in our graphic lessons that you're not going to do anything when it's not branded. I'm like, I need a logo. So I start drafting and scribbling. I pick ideas. Then when I finished with the day at school, I go home. I remember the first thing I did was open up an email account. I called my friend. I asked him to design for me a logo, which took 3 days. He sent it to me thereafter. Then I told this person, I think I'm going to launch a project. And then they're like, what? I'm like, I'm going to launch a project. So I'm going to request the head teacher to give me another 2 weeks so that I can put this whole place in plan. But then I've been teaching these children how to make reusable sanitary towels. So I think I need to leave something impactful, like something that they would keep working with. So they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm going to buy a sewing machine. He's like, on which money? I'm like, I don't have money, but I'm going to buy a sewing machine. So he's like, okay, it's fine. He took me to town to Sengaso. And he's like, he introduced me to the gentleman, and he was like, this is one of the girls from the kingdom. She's running this whole project. She's been engaging with children in Chihuahua and teaching them this, but then she would want you to partner with her to donate a machine to a school. And then we ask how much the machines are, 2 point something. I'm like, I have 600K, which I didn't have.
Electric or
my whole thing was getting a manual machine, but for the sake of flexibility and sustainability and operation by many, the electric machine would be better. So when I went to Sengaso, these people were pointing me into the direction of getting a portable electric machine. And it was way out of my budget. And they asked me, what's your budget? I told them I had planned around 600,000, which I didn't also have. So they're like, it's okay, you will come with that money and we shall give you the machine. I'm like, really? They're like, they called him my manager. Your manager asked for a partnership, and this is the way we can also contribute to giving back to the community. So we shall be giving you a second-hand machine at this price. So just get a day, come with the children, and we teach you how they operate it. Personally, I also didn't know how to operate one. Nali mpiso na uzi kutunga.
And there you learned.
And then I learned to operate the machine. But the local machine, I had learned how to operate it, of which that's also another story, because I think I'm a quick learner. I learned how to run a machine in 1 week. So fast forward, I did the project launch. It was a mega event, and the children were blessed. The community was blessed. I usually do random visits, and the teachers are proud to present to me things that the kids are making, not only pads, but also clothing.
Amazing.
For their weekend classes. They are having an art club. They do jewelry. When the school goes for these random activities that keep happening, they carry some of their products to also show other people.
Showcase,
and probably if they're lucky, they make sales, which is a good thing for them. So that motivated me to keep running. I was like, if this was a success, then other things can happen. So after that, I was like, this was overwhelming. So I started taking on individual projects. I worked with Little Miss Tourism Uganda as their official coach for their first edition of the pageant. And there I identified some interesting children. And then after their competition, I talked to their parents. And this specific parent, I asked her if I could mentor her daughter. And she was like, it's okay. Then later on, I get to realize that she has 4 daughters. And I was like, okay, so this is my first batch of clients for the Creative Hub. So I just used to have random interactions with them, phone call, when there's a free weekend, we spend time together. I get to know what the children's interests are. When they have homework, like I really didn't have a plan of what to do, but the whole point was be around the children and give them a reason to see life differently and be better. So we keep on engaging, and they're doing well. They're future leaders. One of them is a public speaker.
That's amazing.
And the other one is a girl guide. She really like just loves taking on leadership at school. Whenever they're having sports days, they literally like cry, Ruth, please come for our sports days, come for this. Ruth, they have given us a lot of work, we are confused, please come and help us do our project works. I remember when they had a science fair and they had science projects, and I remember spending a weekend with them and we were working on these projects, and I couldn't believe what these kids could
Would do.
sit down
Yeah.
and focus and put up these big projects after just watching tutorials on YouTube and doing what, like, they really put up a different thing, and that really like kept me pushing. I was like, no, this is not the end of the journey.
Yeah.
And then another family reached out and their girl was participating in Little Mysteries in second edition, and they were like, yeah, they told us about you, you trained last year, but then you're not the trainer this year, so we would want you to train our child privately. So I take on the child and we are working and we are working. And at the end of the day, this kid was shy to themselves, but with the different engagements I had with her, she kept on showing me signs of, I want to be better, I want to do this. And I remember she one day was walking in town with her mom and she saw something beautiful. And she told her mom, Mommy, we are buying this for Auntie Ruth. And her mom asked her, you've just known her for 2 weeks. Why are you coercing me to buy something for someone I've known for 2 weeks? And then she bought me our small cute handbag. And then when she gave it to me, I felt, I cried. But then she was gifted. She's a little painter. So we kept on going through her painting sessions, and then presentation day, she did well. And she was crowned Total Miss Wildlife 2024, 2025. And she just wrote a small storybook and that communicates about wildlife and how she would want to interact with animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And she launched at her school, Train Up a Child Primary School, and she shared her storybook with her peers. That means I did not just get someone from a certain position, I've given them an extra empowerment
Wow.
of being able
Amazing.
to share with others and also document
Wow,
what
this
they're
is
doing.
this is such a powerful story. Well, viewers there, first and foremost, please continue subscribing, continue sharing the link with your fellow colleagues. There is a lot to learn here. It's not just about beauty, it's beauty with brains. You're hearing stories of purpose, a story that is really transforming how other young girls there can really have impact in their society. So as we continue, I would like to ask you, Sanyu,
Yes, please.
in your line of work, I see that you're working a lot with the young girls out there, but I tend to see some of the mental health issues are affected. Actually, some girls usually get some of those mental health issues. You spoke about some of them, like that time when they get into their menstrual periods. Yeah. How have you been able to address more challenges all around mental health?
Um, I have been able to address challenges around mental health when it comes to the younger community or the children by encouraging them not to stay in solitudeness, like not being alone.
Yeah.
I usually tell these children that we have things we do behind the curtains and we don't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
And these things that we usually do are those things that hurt us.
Yeah.
They're those things that break us. They're those things that make you feel like, why did I come into this world? But I keep telling them, if you're pushed to being in that kind of situation, because they are children, I'm not going to bring the complexity, like now you should do this.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're in this situation or you feel like you're about to zone out and try to be alone, try to find some friends. Try to force them into playing together. Sometimes even the friends can contribute to that, but then it's not as bad as it is going to be when you're going to try
isolated.
to isolate yourself, because
Yeah.
you're going to start self-harming. You may find a child just doing this.
Yeah.
This continuous act of playing on your hand or skin, you're causing a motion, and it's going to
Yeah.
become rough, and you'll end up seeing the skin peel off. These children are going to just shut out. You will find a child and ask them, I would want you to do this, and they will look at you. Because they know if they speak out, you're going to troll them.
Yeah.
But also, as we, the elder siblings or the parents, I encourage myself, my peers, and sometimes I actually tell my parents that when you break down into certain arguments, called for or not called for, or even in the societies I am in, and I see people just sprouting into conflict, personally I am affected.
Yeah.
Like that tears my joy. Like that is way off league. But I just tell people, like, when you're around these children, they are vulnerable creatures. They are still discovering life out there. Do not show them the harshness, because they are looking up to you to be better. But if you're fighting in front of them, then you're triggering something behind their backs. They're like, if mom can fight, if the maid can hit me, if my brother can hit me, then who am I not to go and hit that boy that says this to me at school? If you can do this, like, the things they see is what is going to trigger their actions behind scenes. So personally, I try to be an example. I try to present myself in a way that is not going to trigger a reason for a child to self-harm, or going to trigger a child to think otherwise on what they're going to do, or have second thoughts on the choices they're making over their lives. Yeah.
Wow. As a queen who wears 4 crowns, right? Are they 4? Yes, 4 crowns. I believe you've had many misconceptions about the pageant world. For me, some of those that I've had, that you girls starve yourselves, you don't eat food. And actually, there are quite a number I've had. I don't know some of those that you can share here, and if you can help demystify them, because some people think, you guys live a kind of life that is out of this world. So could you tell us some of them? And
Misconceptions about pageant queens. And okay, there's misconceptions about pageant queens, and then there's misconceptions about pageantry. So I think I'm going to bias to pageant queens, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Misconceptions about pageant queens is, one, your life is scheduled and planned. Like, you have someone that holds your bag and does your everything. Like, you wake up and you're showered and everything. That's a misconception. We are the people, the normal people. It's just the crown that makes us stand out. The misconception around pageant queens is that, as you said, like, we don't eat, we starve ourselves to keep in shape or something. Well, we eat. But the thing is, how do we eat? That's the whole point. Different people have different eating habits and eating routines. But at the end of the day, none of us is on a hunger strike. No, we love food. We eat our food. We enjoy our food. Another misconception is, I would probably say, is pageant queens are supposed to be a certain height, are supposed to be a certain skin tone, are supposed to have a certain face. Well, that's also another misconception. I am dark chocolate. I am short. And I have a round face. And I've gotten 4 crowns onto my head.
Wow.
So girls out there that would want to try out pageantry or being a beauty queen, do not take that as something to put you off. You can also do the same. Don't let the world view limit what you would want to pursue for yourself. those are some of the misconceptions
Wow,
I could
amazing.
highlight.
So I see that there is not any African queen that has made it to Miss Culture International. You are the first.
Yeah.
And that puts a lot of leadership onto your shoulders. And a lot is expected from you as a leader, because you're like a leader that now is meant to inspire, that is meant to nurture, and make sure that someone else from Africa shall come and wear that crown. Or even, actually, for me, I define a leader as someone that helps the others get even past the level they reached at. So I believe you are in the process of helping to inspire or even nurture uh, Miss Cultures to come, Miss Culture Queens to come in Africa. How far are you on that journey? Are you trying to network all around Africa to see that the crown next year comes back to Africa?
Well, yes. Now, that is the reason that got me feature on this podcast.
Wow, amazing. Oh.
Well, last week there was an exhibition that happened at Makerere University, and one of the things I hate but love doing is networking. I am a very shy person.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a very shy person. But then because of what I carry, the positions I hold, what I embody, I have to feign toughness and put out this whole, yes, I can take the space, I am confident, I can speak, I can do it. Yeah, so me trying to see that I get another young lady, another young gentleman, because it's not only
Yeah,
Miss,
unisex.
it's Mr. and Miss Culture, but I was the first person to go.
How did I miss that?
Well, let's prepare ourselves for a private talk and we see how you
Sure.
represent Uganda for Mr. Culture 2026.
Sure. Oh, wow.
But I'm trying to put myself out there so that people get to know who I am and what I stand for and what I represent. I try to ensure that I network with people that have been on stages I have not been. Okay, like I have been on international stages, but then there are certain networks I have not tapped into. So my being at the Makerere University at exhibition,
Yes, yes.
and I'm like, I engaged with these people. One, the person that brought me there was Wayne Chirabo, the designer, because I had been following her on Instagram and how uniquely she works with the Kikoi to do different inspiring, unique designs where she is based in Spain. And I'm like, yes, this girl coming to Uganda, definitely, I will show up. Like, I was following her tour, and when I saw that she was going to be
Uganda.
no, when I saw her story that she's going to be at Makerere, I made sure I made it a point to be there. And then that was a Thursday, but then I had a busy day on Friday because one of the people that was hosting the events mentioned it's a 3-day event. You could make sure to make it a point to come every day. So I didn't make it on the second day, that was Friday. But on the last day, I was like, one of my other friends, I was like, you know what? No, this thing is still going on. Let's just go and see what they have to say. And that's where I got to meet Mr. Emmanuel, and he introduced me to this whole lot of things. He told me about Harmony of Minds. I'm like, okay. And he was like, I see you have a lot happening. Could we have a chat after this? Yeah, we exchanged contacts and had a brief conversation. And that's when I realized that I am actually before the camera and speaking my story to inspire someone else out there. And this is the way, because now this is being captured and it's getting on record. This is going to be shared by other people, so it can reach multitudes of people. So by me saying this, I am looking. You could kindly reach out if you really have an interest to be mentored to pursue the journey of taking on Mr. Miss Culture. There's also a teen category, that is Mr. Teen Culture and Miss Teen Culture. The reigning Mr. Teen Culture is actually in South Africa. So Africa was represented well. Yeah. So
is there any age limits?
For the teen category, it's 13 to 18.
Okay.
For the Miss Culture, it's 19 to 32.
Oh, okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So, guys, hope you're enjoying this conversation. It's really amazing. There is a lot to learn. Miss Sanyu here is sharing too much that I'm feeling like, okay, I wish I would reverse back some bit of years and then, yeah, just get into some of these competitions, because it's not just about the competition. They help you really shape and position you in purpose.
Yeah.
So as we come to the end of our last segment of this podcast, I'd like to ask you a few questions, and please feel free to give me an answer as fast as you can. So, if your life was a painting, what are the three colors that would dominate the canvas and why?
Purple, blue, and white.
Okay, why purple?
It's a beautiful color. It's my favorite color.
And then the blue?
Blue symbolizes royalty.
And then the white?
White is just the light.
Okay, amazing. Between preparing for a beauty pageant and preparing for a lesson plan, which gives you more butterflies?
Beauty pageants.
What's the most unexpected or funny thing that ever happened backstage at a pageant? The crying?
My heel broke.
Wow.
When I was literally the next person, so I had to get someone's shoes.
What? Wow. You have spoken about culture tourism as a powerful economic identity tool. If you had unlimited resources for one big cultural project in Uganda, what would it be?
Uganda is one, and this would be getting different cultures to showcase the different tapestry of art and creativity they have, not just for the adults, but I would forefront the children.
Okay, looking ahead, how do you hope your work will shape Uganda, how Uganda is seen basically?
My work will have influenced the young generation to see and view things from a different lens, so they will be able to go over certain challenges that usually bring a lot of headache to the grown-ups.
What one message would you have for the viewer out there?
The one message I would have for the viewer out there is bring your vision to reality. Never be there and sit onto a talent. Never be there and look down onto yourself. Never be there and say, I am not enough. Never be there and say, I am not loved. Never be there and say, this is not what I am meant to do. Take on the space if you can, but you should if you must.
Wow, amazing, amazing. If someone was to give you tea or coffee, which one would you take?
Coffee.
Loud music or quiet time?
Depends on the mood.
Okay. Painting or catwalk?
I would catwalk and paint.
Okay. Night owl or early bird?
Night, nocturnal.
Nocturnal.
Actually,
If you could have a dinner with three Ugandan women, past or present, who would those be and why?
Three Ugandan women. This is a hard one. Okay, one, Maggie Chigozi, Dr. Maggie Chigozi. I would have current generation, Lisa Kusima, influential persons, that is the late Cecilia Ogwal.
Wow, amazing. Why Cecilia Ogwal?
She was a beauty queen as well, and it is said to be she was among the very first Ugandan beauty queens, or Miss Uganda, something of that sort.
Have you heard of Bagaya, one of the
Victoria
queens?
Bagaya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, how about her?
You just said three, so I gave you the three because at least they have politically influential, for Lisa Kusima, socially influential, and then Maggie Chigozi, economically influential. So
Wow.
like I look up to those people into those different aspects.
Amazing, amazing. Well, as we come to the end of our podcast today, there has been a lot to learn. It's not just beauty, it's beauty with brains and purpose. As I conclude, I would like to say this one message to you all out there. Each time you get an idea to do something, it's always important that you listen to your heart and do that God has placed on your heart. If at all we had never organized that meet and greet for Wine Chirabo, then how would I have gotten to know her? But it was just an idea that God put at my heart, that why don't you organize such an event? I believe over 120 that came for that particular meet and greet have been blessed by the words of wisdom, the experiences she shared, and here she is even testifying to it that she was able to learn, to reawaken something within her that, I have to push my purpose, I have to keep going. So with these few words, allow me to say bye-bye, but remember, we're always streaming live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Please join us, and may you continue to share this video that it may reach out to more and more people in Africa,